Good, good, well done.
A very good afternoon to the experts, faculty members, research scholars, PG, PhD scholars, and all present over here.
Who is the expert here? Yourself.
That's very kind of you, sir. That is very kind of you. But I feel you are the expert. So myself, Sonali K. Bachute, under the guidance of Dr. R.D. Kharatkar, sir, this is my PhD title, Study and Performance Analysis of Adaptive Filter for Speech Enhancement. This is my presentation outline. Introduction, which I'm going to do it very small, as sir has said. Then literature review, a short literature review. Then the research challenges, which I found after doing my literature review. And these gaps which I have found in the literature review, I will propose a methodology to address these particular gaps. Then I will discuss about speech enhancement. My major focus is on adaptive filter algorithms. Then the performance comparison of the existing algorithm. Extensive work has been done in this particular area. So I will be comparing my results with the existing researchers' results. And after the analysis of the existing methods, certain refinements in the existing algorithms have been proposed. That is my contribution. And then the results, validation of the refined algorithms, conclusions, references, and my publication. Before I start my presentation, I would like to acknowledge AICTE, Board of Studies Pune, for funding this particular activity, rather my research work, because I have implemented this particular part in Texas Instrument TMS 6713, a DSP processor which requires a Code Composer Studio. That software, hardware, all is funded by AICTE New Delhi and Board of Studies, University of Pune. This is my short introduction. Now we are all aware that communication is an integral part of the society. This communication could be in the form of text, speech, image or video or any other form. Now, when we talk about speech, this is the most natural and efficient way of communicating. When we talk about human and machine interface or speech operated systems, these particular systems are becoming popular, and that is the reason why I have chosen the application as speech enhancement. The performance of all these particular systems depend upon the quality of speech. And if noise, the environmental noise gets contaminated with this speech signal, the performance of such system gets hampered. So this is the short introduction. So I would say over here, speech processing, there are wide areas of research going on in speech coding, speech synthesis, speech recognition, and verification. My research is focusing on speech enhancement. When we talk about speech enhancement finds applications in mobile phones, car communication, teleconferencing, automatic speech recognition systems. When we see speech enhancement, the name itself tells you, his speech is enhanced. That means the noise is reduced, and this speech enhancement basically emphasizes on improvement of quality and intelligibility. When we say quality of a speech is improved, means the pleasantness, the naturalness of the signal is improved. When we say the intelligibility is improved, it means the information contents are improved, which has an impact on speech recognition systems. My focus is on quality improvement. So quality is a prime design aspect in my research work. Whenever the background noise gets degrades the speech, we are going to remove this interference by using the intelligent algorithms. We call it as adaptive filter algorithms. Why do we require this filter? Basically, we all are aware of a digital filter. There are many various types of digital filters, like low pass filter, high pass filter, and all. So, this digital filters, I would say conventional digital filters cannot be used in this particular application, because designing a conventional digital filter requires all the characteristics to be known prior. That means what is the range of the signal to be processed, what is the range of the signal which is to be filtered out. But in case of speech enhancement, The speech is a random signal, noise is also a random signal, background noise, and the spectrums of the speech signal and the noise signal are overlapping. And that is the reason we cannot use a normal filter whose coefficients are fixed, but we are using an intelligent algorithm to update this coefficient. I would say an adaptive filter algorithm. So that was what I was talking about, is the spectrum is overlapped, and that's the reason we are using this filters. So this adaptive filter is a self-adjusting filter who adjusts the transfer function according to an optimizing algorithm. And the optimizing parameter could be signal to noise ratio, mean square error, and execution time. So this is the basic structure of an adaptive filter, wherein we can see that there's a digital filter and analog algorithm, adaptive algorithm rather. So this is the structure of this adaptive filter, which tries to perform an operation on the input, and at the same time it tries to keep a track of the desired signal. So whenever the speech gets contaminated with diversified type of noise like airport noise, babble noise, car noise, exhibition noise, restaurant noise, station noise, to name a few. So this is the generalized FIR digital filter structure. We know FIR filter is a inherently stable filter. So a lot of researchers are working on FIR filter using this adaptive filter algorithm. So this adaptive filter set up for speech enhancement is explained over here. We can see that there is a signal plus noise. I would say that is a contaminated speech signal. We can use two microphones. One microphone which will capture the speech signal plus the noisy signal, and the another microphone will capture the reference noise signal. And here the noise estimate is calculated. Better and better estimate we will get after every iteration. Whenever this noise signal is applied, this signal, contaminated speech signal is applied, at each iteration we get the noise estimate. And whenever our noise estimate is closely approachable to this n of k, or I would say if our estimated noise is a good estimate, then whatever signal estimated at the output will be our original signal. That means our clean speech signal. So this is the problem which I am going to handle. And my work is on the adaptive filter algorithms. So this is the literature review. Basically the work done by Bernard and Widrow initiated this work long back, and then these are the key contributors, I would say. Blackett, Robinson, then Widrow, Hoff, Kalman, Gauss, which came up with these new techniques. I have studied all these techniques, and then certain outcomes have been drawn from this literature, which I have reviewed. And this IEEE paper by Said is referred, and this is giving us a good comparison of the family of adaptive filter for noise cancellation, that is speech enhancement. Over here, certain comparison analysis was evaluated for normalized least mean square algorithm and recursive least mean square algorithm. Now, going through this literature, we have developed the problem statement. This is the procedure for development of the problem statement. The literature survey reveals that the adaptive filter approaches put forth are based on the objective to improve the convergence parameter. That means the researchers have given lot of importance to improving the convergence parameter. And the literature also says that there is a need to suggest application-specific approach for various environmental noise conditions, and to improve this, the comparison is done. The comparison of experimentation results of the work done by various researchers should be done in a common platform. Earlier, the researchers who have done the work on this, they were considering some pre-assumptions, considering the signal to be stationary or in a specific range. And over here in my work, I have referred an international database, SPEAR database, which is used by the people who work in speech enhancement, so that on a common platform I can compare my results with the researchers' results. So this is the problem statement. Basically, I will be addressing the study of existing adaptive filter algorithm. That means least mean square, complex least mean square, sign least mean square, or I would say the variants of least mean square, time varying least mean square algorithm, and compare the performance of these algorithm for evaluation on the basis of performance indices like SNR, mean square error, and execution time. This performance of all these algorithms are compared. Then, after studying this algorithm and analyzing this algorithm, certain refinements in the existing algorithms are suggested. This is my contribution. And the suggested algorithm, or I would say refined algorithm, is also validated. And after that, suggesting the best or a better algorithm for certain application environment is suggested. Apart from that, suggest a better algorithm for various noise level. It is found in the literature that specific algorithm works good when SNR ratio is low, or another algorithm works better when the SNR is high. So over here there is a need to suggest a better algorithm which would work in both situations, lower SNR or higher SNR. The research challenges are: the nature of the speech signal is random, noise is also random, so modeling this signal is very critical, and the noise spectrum and the speech spectrum are overlapping, so it is challenging to remove the noise. The conventional algorithm considers some certain assumptions, and by considering these assumptions, those algorithms cannot directly be applied to the application environment. So that is the reason I have come up with certain modifications in them. And to do this, this is the proposed methodology. The proposed methodology is to perform the enhancement of the speech signal, compare with the existing all combination of the inputs and the type of noise in which the system is going to work. To study the existing methods which may lead to the refinement in existing algorithms, performance comparison of the existing algorithm is done with the refined algorithms in order to just compare whether truly my algorithm, refined algorithm, is giving good result as compared to the previous algorithms. The enhanced speech is obtained from the corrupted speech signal. After an enhancement, these performance indices are used like mean square error, signal to noise ratio, and execution time. So this is the implementation flow. I have done the experimentation in MATLAB simulation, as well as I have used the hardware implementation by the DSP processor 6713 through the Code Composer Studio. I have coded all these particular algorithms, implemented it and verified it. So the model of the clean speech signal is done, as well as the model of the noise speech signal. The signals are mixed and then they are applied as an input to the filter. So we can see over here, in between there is a speech enhancement system which consists of an adaptive filter and the adaptive algorithm. And my major work is based on this algorithm updations. So these are the algorithms which I have tried, compared the results, considering white noise, car noise, and the various other noise mentioned over here. So this is the flow of my work. So my contributions to this particular research is study the existing methods, analyze the existing algorithms, so that I understand that what refinements, what changes I can do in this existing algorithm, and I did that changes and implemented that algorithm, analyzed that algorithm, compared its result with the existing, my result as well as the researcher's result, and the results were found good. So adaptive filter approaches, there are two approaches, stochastic gradient approach and least square approach. Stochastic gradient approach basically is, in each iteration, the tap weight, that is the filter coefficient weight, is changing. And it is changing in the direction of the gradient, so as to obtain the minimal coefficient vector, so that we get a optimized value. Then least square approach, block estimation and recursive recursive estimation are the two approaches, wherein block estimation, the processing of the speech signal takes place block by block, whereas in recursive estimation it is done sample by sample. So in my case I have done sample by sample processing. So coming to the results, the experimental study and performance analysis of the existing algorithms is carried out over here. Certain analysis of this least mean square algorithm can be done. Considering the primary input, which is the contaminated or corrupted speech signal, the reference, which consists of noise, which is initially kept correlated with the noisy speech data, and then later on I have experimented by not considering these assumptions also, so that we can use this setup in the specific application area like automatic speech recognition system. This least mean square algorithm is based on gradient optimization. Okay? To determine the filter coefficient, this particular algorithm is used, and in each iteration the coefficient of the filter gets changed, keeping into mind that the output should be a better estimate of the noise signal, so that we can cancel out this noise from the noisy data, and our final output of the system should be the clean speech signal. Now, this algorithm is relatively easy to implement in software and hardware, simple algorithm, so that's the reason it is becoming more popular. The behavior of this particular algorithm is to update the weight of the tap vector. Old weight, that is initial weight, we are going to initialize the weight, and at each iteration the weight is going to change. So that old weight, that is previous tap weight vector, plus the learning rate parameter, then the tap input vector and the error signal. So this is the updation of the filter weight. This is how the updation of the filter weight takes place. So I would like to just show how this updation takes place. So in this, initially you can have an initial guess of this weight, or you can initialize it to small value, as sir said, not 0, but some smaller value, maybe 0.01, 0.2, so that we can start from certain initialization value. And then we are going to move into the gradient direction in order to get an optimal value. So at each iteration, we can see at first iteration C1, C2. Over here, I have shown some example like 5 and 7. Then second iteration, again they are changed. They are changed by comparing the output with the estimated noise with the original signal and what is the estimated output. So in each iteration, we are changing this so that our weight becomes optimal. So this is the convergence graph. This is the analysis of this particular algorithm. First we start from guessing a tap weight. Then we start going in the opposite to the gradient vector to calculate the next tap, and so on until we get a minimum MSE. This is our parameter of optimization. Meaning the MSE, a very close value to 0, not 0, because practically we cannot get exactly 0 error, but we can get a small minimum error. So this is how the desired combination of tap weights are achieved. This is the flow diagram for least mean square algorithm, wherein you start initializing the values of your input speech signal, noise signal. The inputs are taken from the NoiseX Aurora International Database. Then the computation of the error is calculated, updated, the updation of the coefficients are done. Then we compare the error so that whether the error value is minimal, tolerable or no. Then if it is achieved, then we go to the end. That means we are achieved the optimal weight values to give us the best results. This is how this particular algorithm works. So this is the updation of the least mean square algorithm. Actually what happens inside the algorithm is x of n is applied, then delayed version of the x of n, each sample by sample processing takes place over here, and W0, W1, Wn are the coefficients of our filter, which are changing depending upon the learning weight updation equation. So this is the coefficient updation of least mean square. So we can see over here the error calculation is done, which is depending upon d of n, desired signal minus y of n. and this is the new filter weight, which depends upon the old filter weight, plus the correction parameter, and x of n. E of n is equals to d of n minus y of n. That is, our output of any system is nothing but wt of n into x of n. So transpose of the weight vector, that is our coefficient vector, and x of n. So mu is the convergence parameter. I would say it is a step size. This is playing a crucial role in adjusting the weights of this particular system or algorithm, I would say. So the analysis of this algorithm was carried out, and it was found that if the error is minimum and acceptable for the application, if the error is minimum and acceptable for the application, then the algorithm will stop, as just now discussed in the earlier. But convergence factor mu controls the speed of convergence also. Convergence factor mu controls the speed of execution. Speed of execution of to the optimal filter coefficient. What I mean to say over here is, if mu is too large, the algorithm will not converge. It may diverge, and I have done the experimental as well as analytical comparison of this. If mu is too small, the algorithm converges very slowly and may not be able to track the changing conditions of the noise speed signal. If mu is large enough, then the algorithm reaches steady state, so it may give overshoots to the optimal weight vector. For better performance, so I comment over here, for better performance, mu can be made large initially for rapid convergence, and then it can be decreased to the minimum value. So the analysis is done, and the results which I have got. Before that, the experimental conditions is that I have considered the 16 kHz sample rate signal, 30 speech data, noise data is available in the Aurora NoiseX database, and those signals I have used for experimentation, and this is the result. First analysis is done, like if the weight is changing. This red color plot shows the change in the weight. Weight is coefficient of our filter. If mu value, that is our step size, is considered a very large value. Just now what I was discussing is considering the mu value to be very large. If you consider that very large, we can see over here the weight values are diverging. Whereas in this particular case, in the second case, we are getting proper results as compared to the third result. So over here, convergence analysis of the algorithm is done by considering different step size. Now initially, we initialize the algorithm, then we give certain time span for the algorithm to learn. So this is the learning curve of this particular algorithm. Once the algorithm learns the input characteristics of the input signal and the noise signal, that algorithm can be tested in that specific environment by removing the desired speech signal. So over here we can see that initially the error, which is maximum, and later on as the algorithm is learning, our graph is dropping down over here, which is desirable, which we expect. That is, the mean square error is dropping down. So over here we can see that this learning curve tells us that at initial phase, when our algorithm is in learning mode, the mean square error is high, and gradually once the algorithm has learned the signal characteristics and it is performing in an optimal range, it will give you the minimal MSE. So this is the learning curve analysis of the algorithm. Apart from this, I have also done the analysis like what is the effect of mu, that is our step size, on this learning curve. And it has found that if you consider mu, so in blue color we can see over here that this result, when considering mu as 0.0750 and considering the mu 0.0025, which is shown over here. So we can see in this case, if you keep the step size mu large, the learning rate, rather when you keep it very small, the algorithm takes long time to learn, and then it will give you the stable values. Whereas over here, in this particular case, we are getting the the learning happens earlier than this case. So, what I mean to say over here is the choice of mu should be done very carefully. That is a critical value which affects the mean square error performance. And now we will focus on the weight adjustment approach and optimal value. So this is the plot showing us how the weights of the filter changes. More details can be seen in the contour analysis, wherein W opt is the optimal weight which is at the center. Similarly, once we analyze this contour, we see that we get an optimal result at the W opt point over here. Now, we also need to understand that this obtaining this optimal weight is again related to our mu parameter. So, the effect of mu, change in mu on this W opt, that is optimal weight calculation. So this analysis was done and it was found that when mu is 1/3, you can see over here the weight goes to the optimal value very fast as compared to when mu is equals to 1/6, which can be seen in the blue line. So this analysis of the algorithm helped to suggest the refinements also later on. So the comparison is done. Mean square error for least mean square algorithm is 0.02069. Then medium step size is 0.0438 and large step size is 0.0443. So selection of the value of mu, that is step size, is a critical situation wherein we need to do it very because it is a trade-off. So if mu is small, the filter reacts very slowly. If it is too large, the filter resolution is poor because there are quite a chance that may diverge. So the selection of mu is a compromise in order to avoid the diversion or slow performance. So after doing the analysis, these limitations were found out in the existing algorithm. So this particular algorithm faces certain problems like round-off error, and as I said about the convergence. So a new algorithm is derived from this leaky LMS algorithm, rather this least mean square algorithm, which is called as leaky LMS algorithm. This algorithm combats the problem during the periods of very low SNR. So leaky LMS algorithms are also used in certain situations and certain applications. Whereas this particular algorithm was unable to handle the complex data. So for that purpose, another algorithm was suggested by researcher, that is complex least mean square algorithm, which allowed the handling of the complex data. So this is how the algorithm works, and again I have done the detailed analysis of this leaky LMS algorithm. Over here, the leakage factor parameter is included in weight updation equation. Earlier our weight updation equation was the new weight is equals to the old weight plus the correction parameter. But over here, not only the old weight, but we are using a gamma factor which is multiplied with the weight of the filter. So I would say that is a leakage factor which provides additional stability. And the performance of this system was plotted, and we know our ROC, region of convergence, that unit circle, whatever pole zeros were there, they were, in this particular case, they were inside the unit circle, which adds the stability to our system. So because of adding this extra gamma factor, what happened over here is our objective function changed. The objective function initially was mod of E of n square. Now it has become plus this gamma value and our weight, expected value of our weight. So this is how earlier we used to calculate MSE like this. Then now we are going to use the energy, that is Euclidean norm of the weight. And how do we calculate this Euclidean norm of the weight? It is summation k equal to 0 to n w of n minus k square in this particular way. Practically we have calculated this, analyzed it in detail. Then further changes were done in this algorithm by including the signum function. Signum is our function which thresholds the signal from a specific value like 0 to plus 1 value, positive values, it will threshold to plus 1, and negative values, it will threshold to minus 1. So this is the Signum least mean square algorithm. Then this is called as sin LMS algorithm. Here, what is done is the Signum function is applied. Signum function is applied on this correction parameter. That means E of n, that is the error signal. So this is how the weights are updated in this particular algorithm. Then modifications were done in dual sign, that is sin LMS algorithm, by applying the Signum function to the weight, and the results were observed to becoming good. And then again it was compared by using Signum function to the error as well as to the weight. So these are all existing methods which I have studied, analyzed and implemented, and the results are compared over here. So we can see that CLMS algorithm for 0 decibels. Now the experimentation was performed for 3 levels of noise. 0 decibel of noise, 5 decibel and 10 decibel. So this was just to check whether the algorithm is working good in low noisy data, medium noisy data and highly noisy data. So over here we can see that our SLMS algorithm is giving us a better result because it is giving us 25.20 dBs of SNR over here, and again 27.36 is the output which we are getting because of by using SLMS algorithm. So this is the comparison. So we compared the performance of this LMS variant algorithms on the basis of signal to noise ratio, and the comparison is again carried out by using MSE, mean square error. So we can see over here that by using these algorithms, sin LMS algorithm is giving us very low value of MSE, which is our desirable condition. So our mean square error should be as much low as possible, because this indicates that our output is a best estimate or better estimate of our clean speech signal. So this is the mean square result. Similarly, execution time is also compared over here in case of CLMS, sin LMS and sin LMS algorithms. So this comparison is carried out, and it has been seen that SNR ratio in case of CLMS is good when we compare it to its applicability for speech enhancement systems like automatic speech recognition system, in-car communication systems, etc. So SNR is good in this particular case. MSE is at par, tolerable, and execution time is fast. So in this way, the spectrogram is also drawn in order to find out the spectral components present in the speech signal, noisy signal, and the enhanced signal using least mean square algorithm and the enhanced least mean square algorithm. So extensive experimentation was carried out to understand the existing algorithms, the analysis of the algorithms, and the effect of mu parameter on the estimate, effect of the initialization parameter and its effect on the outputs, and then certain modifications have been suggested, or I would say refinements have been suggested. Here, normalization of x of n is done. When we consider over here this modification, instead of considering mu, we make it dependent upon the input signal. Xt of n, that is transpose of our input into x of n. Here mu varies with input signal power. Optimize the speed of convergence and maintain the steady state performance, because it becomes independent of the reference signal. And we are deriving this mu value from the input signal x of n, which is known to us. So this is the modification suggested, and this is the flow of implementation. The normalized sin least mean square algorithm is also studied. It is analyzed. You can see the modification equations of the algorithm over here, and here the Signum function is applied to x of n on element by element basis, and the new weight wn plus 1 is equals to the old weight, that is wn, plus twice of mu and the correction parameter. So the sign algorithm updates the filter coefficient using only the sign. Over here the magnitude is not considered but the direction, because we need to go to the direction of the gradient. So this is what is found over here. So this is the normalized least mean square algorithm which I have used for the implementation. So we can see the update equation. This is the flow for implementation of this normalized least mean square algorithm. This is the schematic flow. This algorithm is implemented and again it is performed with the existing conventional least mean square algorithm considering the airport noise at 0 dB, 5 dB and 10 dB in order to check its efficiency. So over here we can see that LMS is giving us better result in case of airport noise whenever 0 dB, that means highly noisy data is present, and when we use our least mean square algorithm we are getting SNR to be 11.70. So that is the maximum result we are getting in case of LMS least mean square. When we compare this normalized least mean square algorithm, we can see that over here the performance of SNR performance is not that good. MSE performance is also average and the execution time required is very, very high. This is the analysis which was done and the performance of this is compared. So we can see that our least mean square algorithm is giving better results in case of this situation as compared to normalized least mean square algorithm. So after analyzing this, we did rather certain modifications were done in the algorithm. So SNR performance analysis using least mean square and modified least mean square algorithm was carried out, and here also the modified least mean square algorithm was found to be giving lesser performance than least mean square algorithm. But these are my readings which I have got. But this motivated me to work in the another variant algorithm. So I found that this particular algorithm was not working in this situation. So I went for the another algorithm. That is variable step size algorithm. This is, so in traditionally algorithm whichever we used, the mu step size was fixed. But in this case it is variable. The step size is kept variable. Means initially you are going to keep the step size to a large value and later on you are going to reduce the value of the step size. So if the step size is large, fast convergence may obtain, and if it is very small, slow convergence. So there is a trade-off again over here. So a value of step size, instead of keeping it large or small, we are making it variable. So here it is varying. So when adaptation begins, W of n is far away from its optimal value. So in that case, we can keep our mu very large, and when it comes to a specific level wherein you can keep the step size very small, so that we get the optimal weights which enhances or which gives you the MSE to a lower value. So this analysis was done and it was found that time varying least mean square algorithm was giving good results. This is the algorithm. This is the TVLMS, that is time varying least mean square algorithm, which was made. Earlier the mu, the step size mu was kept constant, but here mu of n is not kept constant, but it depends upon the alpha n and mu of O, that is the optimal value. And alpha n is again dependent upon the coefficient c raised to 1 upon 1 plus a n raised to b. So here I would say alpha n is derived from the three parameters a, b and c in this particular case. This implementation of this TVLMS algorithm was carried out. This is a schematic. And the results show that time varying least mean square algorithm and modified TVLMS algorithm, when they are compared on the basis of SNR parameter, they are showing better results. Very good results were obtained. Like over here 14 decibel, whenever 0 dB noise is there, we have got SNR to be 14, and we can see over here 10 dB noise. Our SNR is again improving to be 12.99. Same is the case with mean square error. The error is also very low in modified TVLMS. So I can say that this is my contribution. I have modified this algorithm and the results show that they are performing better than the conventional TVLMS algorithm. In all the sense, like SNR on the performance indices like SNR, MSE and time. These are the results which have been compared. Then another class of recursive least mean square algorithm also studied, analyzed, implemented, and again refinements suggested, and then compared whether the refined results are performing better than the existing methods. So this is how this recursive least mean square algorithm works. Y of k, its output equation, is equals to summation I equal to 0 to n minus 1, W of I, our filter coefficient, xk of I, that is our input, plus the E of k parameter, that is error. So this is our recursive least mean square algorithm. So the optimum estimate in least square sense is obtained for the filter weights W of I, which is given as in the equation. This is how our recursive least mean square coefficients are updated. It's a recursive algorithm. Inverse matrix needs to be calculated. This is what I have implemented. The error value E of n, which is equals to the desired signal D of n minus the Z of n. So the new weight depends upon W of n, that is our old coefficient of the filter, plus the error parameter and K of n. And K of n is calculated in this particular way. So K of n and P of n calculations are shown over here. Again, P of n depends upon Pn minus 1, Pn minus 2, Z raised to Hermitian constant H n K of n by lambda. So this is how the recursive least mean square algorithm works. This least mean square algorithm implementation flow is shown over here. The schematic flow of this recursive least mean square algorithm is studied, and the analysis of this recursive least mean square algorithm is carried out. Over here we can see the effect of step size. Now in recursive least mean square algorithm we call the step size as lambda. This lambda is said to be 0.011, then 0.55, then 0.99. Changing this lambda, we found that it affects the SNR value also. Over here the highest SNR which we have got is 9.99 in this recursive least mean square algorithm. This is the existing algorithm. The effects of change of lambda, that is our step size in recursive, its effect on mean square error is analyzed. We can see over here we are getting the minimal values at this particular point, 0.35, 0.3. This is the effect of change in lambda on the execution time. So all this detailed analysis is done of this existing recursive least mean square algorithm. Now the comparison of this results of recursive least mean square algorithm with the LMS algorithm is carried out over here. We can see that recursive least mean square algorithm is giving us much better results as compared to our LMS, because here we are getting the maximum value of SNR to be 24.77, and which is desirable in speech applications like automatic speech recognition systems or in-car communication and many other applications which I will be mentioning at the end. So this is the comparison of the performance of recursive least mean square and least mean square. So in all the comparisons we can see that signal to noise ratio is a very high, which is desirable, and MSE, that is the mean square error, should be very low, and that we are achieving over here, as well as the execution time is also compared. There are certain limitations in the system, this recursive least mean square algorithm. It is sensitive to the round of error, whereas again it is not very efficiently used in case of real-time filtering applications. So this could be the limitation, and because of that modification in recursive least mean square algorithm is carried out. This is the modification. The error calculation is done based on same desired signal and the output Y of n. But here the values of R of n are calculated with the help of R of n plus 1 is equals to R of n minus ZZ of n into Z of n. So these parameters are changed, and the calculation of Q is depending upon the input X of n and Z of n. So this algorithm modifications have been carried out. This is the implementation flow. This is the comparison result. Now over here I would like to say, when I compared this recursive least mean square with the modified recursive least mean square, did the comparison using the processor also, it is giving very good result, because initially when 0 decibels of noise, when we say 0 dB of noise is there, means the data is highly noisy, and there are certain situations or certain algorithms which are not working properly when the data is very noisy. So we can say that this modified RLS algorithm is working better when the noise level is very high. This is the MSE performance. Here also we found that modified RLS algorithm, this modified RLS algorithm is giving better results than the RLS. So this is the final comparison comment. Now, whenever these algorithms were studied, analyzed, experimented and modifications were suggested, it was found another gap which I discussed. This applicability of this particular system in different noise environment was not addressed. Few researchers addressed it, but again application specific and noise specific, this analysis was not done. So this analysis is done, and initially all the analysis I carry out for airport noise. Then again this was also carried out. This comparison was again carried out not only for airport noise but other 7 types of noise, in order to ensure whether this modified algorithm works better in all these 7 types of noise. So these 7 types of noise were addressed over here. And here we can see that our modified RLS algorithm is giving us the better result, that is 31.05. Whenever the noise is 0 dB airport noise, it is giving us 30.63 when it's 5 dB airport noise, 30.67 for 10 dB airport noise. The plots show that our modified recursive least mean square algorithm is giving us better results, and this is also verified by using the hardware. And this is my contribution, planning to go for patenting for this particular algorithm, because it is verified in the hardware also, as well as the simulation results show that this modified recursive least mean square algorithm is performing much better when you compare with the existing one. So this is the comparison of existing algorithms with the modified algorithm. We can see over here least mean square compared with its modified version. Similarly, normalized least mean square modified with its compared with its modified normalized least mean square. Then recursive least mean square compared with its modified version. So all the comparison is done on the common platform over here, considering the airport noise, and found that this modified recursive least mean square algorithm is performing much better by giving 31.058 results SNR value. Similarly, MSE value comparison is also done, and it is also found that this algorithm is giving us good result. This is the overall comparison of the refined algorithm. Here also it is found that modified recursive least mean square algorithm performs much better in case of SNR, mean square error, as well as execution time. These are the plots which show that this performance is better as compared to the other one. So this would be the experimental setup for airport noise. I will just speed up. This is the experimental setup for airport noise. Again it is repeated. These are the results. Considering all the algorithms which I have implemented, I consider the airport noise. These are the comparison plots for it. So comparison plot for existing and modified algorithm in case of MSE when airport noise is used. Then the another setup which I had used is babble noise. Whenever we are speaking on my mobile phone, or whenever any speech operated system is in a noisy environment where babble noise is prominent, we can use this particular setup. So this setup was generated in order to check the applicability of this algorithm in presence of babble noise. The same experimentations again were conducted, and it confirms that our modified recursive least mean square algorithm is working properly and giving us optimal results. Similarly, modified least mean square algorithm is also giving us better result in certain situations. I would like to make it fast. So comparison plots of the existing and modified algorithms for speed, whenever the speed is the parameter. Another condition was considering the exhibition noise. So these were my findings. These are the results. And concluding over here for this setup 3, that is considering exhibition noise, also modified recursive least mean square algorithm has performed better as compared to the other counterpart. So these are the comparisons. Then another setup, which in the speech enhancement setup, the restaurant noise was considered, and again the experimentation was repeated, carried out for modified recursive least mean square algorithm, wherein we had done certain refinement, and the results show that again this modified recursive least mean square algorithm is working much better. These are the plots which show the comparison on common platform. This is for restaurant noise. This is again for station noise. All these types of noise were experimented, and the applicability of this particular algorithm in this environment was studied, analyzed, and refinement were suggested, and the refinements were implemented and compared with the existing methods, and then we can confirm that the outputs which we were getting, we were getting higher outputs, like higher SNR, minimum MSE, and execution time also. So these are the results for the station noise. Then another setup was for street noise, wherein we had again compared. So we found that we can say modified recursive least mean square algorithm is working more efficiently. So again this comparison was done. Similarly for another setup 7, that is train noise. So we confirm over here also the results of modified recursive least mean square algorithm is coming better, and I would say this is my contribution about the suggesting refinements in the recursive least mean square algorithm. So consolidating this and suggesting the best fit algorithm for a specific application. Over here there are many other applications which work in low noisy data, high noisy conditions. So that also was checked, and our modified recursive least mean square algorithm was found to be giving us maximum results. Even sine least mean square algorithm was giving better results in case of car noise for 5 decibels, then exhibition noise. So it was also giving us better results. Then suggesting the best adaptive filter algorithm for specific application environment. These 3 application environments were considered, which I focused on was speech recognition system. Here also the modified recursive least mean square algorithm was found to be performing better, as well as in case of adaptive beamformers, our SLMS and modified RLS was working very good. Finally, I would like to conclude that after performing this analysis, experimentation and modification, we find that sine least mean square algorithm is found better in applications like speech recognition and enhancement, where the noise level is low. There are certain applications wherein noise level is very, very low, and still we need to remove that small amount of noise also. So this SLMS and SSLMS was found to be performing better. Then for normalized least mean square, the performance as compared to this least mean square was better, whereas the recursive least mean square, that is RLS and the refined RLS, shows better result as compared to LMS and the other LMS variant algorithms. So the experimentation performed shows that there is always a trade-off between the step size and the mean square error, and the choice of the algorithm depends upon the requirement of the specific application. So the choice is again based on the application specific requirement and vital parameters which are required to be optimized, whether it is SNR, or whether it is MSc, or whether speed is an important parameter. So depending upon that, we can make the choice. So these are my references. And finally, publications. These are the journal publications. Thank you. Any questions from the audience?
You are a teacher.
Sir.
Yes, so. Yeah, questions? Yeah, please. If there are no questions now, it won't end. Yeah, please.
Any DSP processor kit?
Yeah, TMS.
What's the synthesis?
TMS.
TMS.
So, do you have any kind of video or any kind of practical demonstration where we should be able to know how the noises has been analyzed?
Generated. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now. Actually, DSP, I have been teaching DSP for 17 years and researching in DSP lab. Over there, we have a system set up wherein we have 6 inputs which we can get from the actual environmental noise. And then that noise can be captured and that can be applied through the Code Composer Studio to our DSP processor. We can implement, rather we can write our code, dump that code in our DSP processor and find out the results, and we can also connect our DSP processor to our DSO and see the result on the DSO also.
It was done in C or
Initially, to simulate, to find out whether the algorithms are working properly and to whether and to analyze the algorithms, MATLAB was used. Later on, the coding was done in C, so that through that we can easily dump the code into the DSP processor. Rather, I would say let us use MATLAB or C. We are using MATLAB means we are using our own functions, we are writing our own code. So I would say we should use the graphical capacities of MATLAB and write our own algorithm. Even if we are using MATLAB. Don't use the ready-made algorithm, and I have not used the ready-made algorithms. So wherever we are writing a code in MATLAB also, if we keep this in mind, it is very easy to convert that into our C program. And then we can dump that through the Code Composer Studio into our DSP processor. And we can connect our output devices, DSO, or even the loudspeaker. So we have the speech processing lab, wherein the input speeches are recorded in the speech card. The outputs are analyzed on the loudspeakers as well as DSOs. Even the spectrum can be viewed by using the spectrum analyzer, by interfacing that spectrum analyzer to our DSP processor.
Asking about any demonstration you have.
Right,
so done or
Right
not?
now, any
हाँ,
video
हाँ.
or any demonstration
Any
you
video
have
or
or
no.
Last statements.
Acha, हाँ,
She will do one. It's a
हाँ.
pre-submission now.
Yeah, I will definitely record a video and include it in my presentation.
Because today it's all RTI. I will say you are not done the experiment. So you will make one video.
Video also. I have the photograph of the set.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
And these results were of C or MATLAB?
My results are all of C.
C code.
C codes. And even if I am using MATLAB, I am using only the graphical capacities of the MATLAB, writing my own functions, writing my own codes. So it is that, like that.
So the only one single kit was available, or other computations, other types of kits were also available?
Yes, initially I worked on the very basic DSP processor 6713. Then later on the research funding was available, so higher range of what I would say, higher featured DSP processor also was available. But all the work was, the basic processor was capable of performing all this work. So I would also test it on the high end of the DSP processor.
For example. Okay, we will have one-on-one later.
All the algorithm you have to study that basic kit of this. All the algorithm.
Yeah, the basic text.
Yes.
Yeah, young
And
ones.
then my title is Study and Performance Analysis.
No, don't worry, leave it.
So,
No permission, no permission.
बट मैम ये आपने मल्टी ट्रैक लिया कि मिक्स डाउन लिया?
Single track. I'm very happy I'm getting the questions on diversified ranges. So I believe I have reached to everybody.
Good.
This is the certificate. Yes, single track. Basically, whenever we talk about, अभी हम जब स्पीच एनहांसमेंट के बारे में बात करते हैं तो 2 टाइप से हो सकता है. उसमें सिंगल चैनल होता है, वो अलग ही टेक्निक है, और मल्टी चैनल भी होता है. मैंने 2 चैनल्स यूज किए क्योंकि एक में हमें रेफरेंस सिग्नल भी चाहिए और दूसरे में हमें स्पीच सिग्नल क्लीन स्पीच सिग्नल चाहिए. तो आई हैव यूज्ड 2 ट्रैक्स.
नहीं, बट आप जो फिल्टरिंग बोल रहे हैं ये ऑलरेडी ऑडियो सॉफ्टवेयर में अवेलेबल है, लाइक ए साउंड फोर, एविड लिक्विड, साउंड
That approach is totally different.
ट्रैक.
Algorithm approach is totally different. Very good question. I'm happy for the question. वो अप्रोच जो है वो थोड़ा अलग अप्रोच है. इसमें कैसे है, अपना स्पीच है, स्पीच सिग्नल ये क्वासी स्टेशनरी सिग्नल है. Now those people who are working on speech, you might know कि speech is a quasi stationary signal, or I would say at initial level it is a random signal. Random signal means its values are randomly changing and you cannot write a specific mathematical equation to characterize the behavior of the random signal. But we cannot use the normal mathematics, but all real world signals are random. Talk about image, talk about video, talk about speech signal. Then how to analyze this? By using probability theory. By using probability theory, that is mean, variance, all these parameters we are using in order to extract the information from this random signal, and we take help of probability theory to analyze and model this signal. That is the critical part, crucial part in the research.
Okay. Others? Still not open up. You have to get on. Yeah, ask. Huh?
I would be happy if you ask questions.
No, if they ask question, you won't give marks to them. That's why they're all worried. Is she teaching
We
her?
are teachers.
Huh?
We are teachers.
I know, that's why they're afraid.
No, I'm not teaching the students.
This group.
Not this group.
She's from Pune.
Pune campus.
Oh, Pune campus is there? Oh, okay. Yeah, please do ask. I cannot ask anything because she has not put the slide numbers. What do I ask? I want to ask many questions. She has no slide.
I'm so sorry for that.
Again, she doesn't look like 17-year-old DSP teacher.
I take it
So
as
young.
a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment. Okay, because 2 things should not be asked. Today you have changed anyway. Girls' age and then boys' salary. But now it's the other way around. Boys' salary can be asked and then not. So it's good, wonderful. We had a good thing, lot of good analysis she has done. But what is adaptive? In the sense, still, I say in isolation I have been seeing. But the title that what you say.
Same question we have.
Yes.
That's why you can't be here. Yeah, what
I'm
is it?
sorry, but I could not clear it in my presentation.
मैम चलिए 4 सेकंड बाद ऑटोमेटिक होगा. 4 सेकंड लेता है उसको जनरेट होने के लिए.
Okay, anyway, you teacher.
Yes. Actually, here the algorithm is making changes in the coefficient. So coefficient is adaptive.
Can we-
Algorithm is adaptive.
No, but
which
can we
changes
call it
the
as
coefficient.
adaptive?
Yes.
Can we call that as adaptive?
Yes, we can call. Over here, the adaptive filter algorithm is there, which changes the parameters in our digital filter. Which parameters are changing? W0, W1, that is the coefficients of our FIR filter are changing. So I can say over here that the coefficients of the filter are adaptive. And how they are being adapted? With the help of this algorithm. Least mean square, recursive least mean square, and what I was talking about is modified recursive least mean square. So here the weights, the coefficients
What
are adaptive.
generally we accept as adaptive means, if there is a signal, what is the input? Okay, so
Speech.
yeah,
Yes.
therefore it should be depending upon the different speeches.
Yes.
Adaptive is what.
Yes. So accordingly, this coefficients adapt means W0 value may change, may increase, may decrease, or may remain constant if the input signal conditions are constant. If the input signal condition changes, means speech changes. For example, whenever we talk about speech signal consists of 3 parts. That is voiced part, unvoiced part, and silent part. When we say silent part, means they are the pauses when we are speaking. And when we say voiced part, means whenever I say that is A. that is a sound of the alphabet A. And then when I say B, that is B. So in between that was a pause. And when we try to calculate the pitch of this speech signal, we will get the pitch frequency. And depending upon this pitch is also changing. The frequency is changing, amplitude is changing, and when this is changing, the coefficients of the adaptive filter also should change accordingly, and this change is done with the help of adaptive filter algorithm. My work is basically on the adaptive filter algorithms.
One more question I have. Actually, you are showing here this diagram. Now, what do you mean by this input? Input means what?
Yes, madam.
Your speech signal or noise signal?
A very good question, madam. Over here, in this particular diagram, we have the input signal and the desired signal.
What do you mean by desired?
In this case, when we talk about this adaptive filter structure, it operates in four ways. This is the initialization. I would say this input is our noise signal, and this desired signal is the clean.
What is your input?
No. So then I have a problem.
What is your input? Then
Then she is telling the same answer which we got the earlier researcher, one of our research student. The same thing is they have given two inputs. One is
I would
speech
like to-
and then
Yes,
another
yes.
input is
Yes,
noise.
madam. I got what you want to say.
Should we put the noise signal separate? My
Madam.
question is that.
Yes, I got your question now. Over here, I can explain it by using this particular thing. Over here, X of n is our noise signal, and this is signal plus noise. Signal means our speech signal. Now, if we have two microphones, if we are in a noisy environment, if suppose this system is generating a noise, I would take one microphone and record that noise. That would be my reference noise, which I will apply over here in this system setup. And the signal plus noise means suppose I am speaking over here and that system is making noise. This microphone 1 will record my speech as well as the environmental noise, and this noise
Just
is acting. Yes.
Why that cannot be called as a signal and why your voice cannot be called as a noise? That is.
Or in another way, why should we put the microphone there? Now, if it is a noisy signal, now
Yes.
mic is with your
Yes, madam. Yes.
your speech is there, and the students they are talking somewhere there. This
Yes.
is also the noise.
Yes, that is babble noise, which I have also.
Okay.
Yes.
So if we are taking this as a signal where your speech, your signal, and the noisy signal already combined there, so why should I have to put the separate microphone there where the noise signals are?
Very correct, madam. Actually, what I want to say is, if our intention is to remove this noise, this would be the setup. When signal is what? Signal is an information containing
That I agree.
parameter.
I have a study about this. What
Yeah,
my
I am just
question is-
proceeding.
My question is why there is a need to separately
Introduce
take
the
the
noise.
noise signal.
Because,
You have
yes,
already this
yes,
noise
yes.
plus signal now.
Right,
So
right.
you have
For
to
simulation
put a
or for
noise-
what?
Yes, for training. Very correct.
Simulation.
First, initially our system needs to be trained in the environment in which it is going to be used. First training, after training, testing. So until training we need the reference noise. Once it is trained, then we can remove that reference noise, and then that noise plus my noise can be treated as an input
My
signal.
Then what is
question
your data?
Anybody should.
All your
require
data is
that
what?
signal with noise.
Yes,
Signal embedded with
yes. Signal embedded with
Did
noise.
not show that.
Yeah, I should have not.
See, when you talk about signal, noise is already embedded.
Yes.
Will be there.
Exactly.
So, of different type.
Exactly.
What is
Yes.
airport noise? Young ones, you are not asked question, you have to answer now. What is airport noise?
announcement.
Yeah, please stand up, one of you. See, if you don't ask questions, then questions will come from this side.
Which is higher than 180 decibels.
Huh?
180 decibels higher than 180 decibels.
So anything above 180 is called airport noise. Do you give your marks?
Which cannot be heard by human ear.
It's called airport noise.
Means very high range voice.
मैडम आप एरोप्लेन की बात कर रहे हैं, वो एरोप्लेन की बात नहीं कर रहे, एयरपोर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे
स्टेशन
स्टेशन जहाँ पर पब्लिक का अनाउंसमेंट वगैरह ये
Noise
At actual.
recorded in
180 डेसिमल कहाँ जा रहे हैं आप, कहाँ में से खून निकलना चालू हो जाएगा.
Restaurant means
In the
Haldiram.
restaurant.
You go there, when you go So those are the plans. But you go to tables.
Yes.
See, in a table, everywhere she put airport plans.
These people know classroom.
No, actually, in order to save time, I have not included all the types of noise. I did the experimentation on only airport noise. I showed it on airport noise, but I have repeated that for all types of noise.
No, your table says on the top something nice, some other, but in the inside you have put airport. I want to. Have you realized?
Yes, sir, yes. The printing mistake.
Yeah. No, it's a cut and paste.
Yeah. Because whenever we cut the results from Excel sheet and take it over here, that, yes, I will
Always,
cut.
you know,
Yes,
it's
yes.
airport, airport.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So there are, you can quarrel with her. And you also, you can do that. But she might not have done with the higher end. Right now, all the result what is shown is only with the TMS.
Yes, TMS 670.
But she never felt that the result should be same, trend should be same. The idea is that whatever the algorithm modified
Applicability.
is better. Of course, if she doesn't say better, she would not have been here. Okay, so that is.
Thank you, sir.
Any other? If there are none, I think. Yeah, please.
Madam, just I want to ask that which type of training algorithm you are going to use?
Now, when we talk about any algorithm, initially there is always a initialization and training phase.
But that diagram look like a noise cancellation. That whatever that diagram you have shown, input and output, it seems to be a noise cancellation rather than speech enhancement.
Yeah, that is the basic question we all
We also asked the same thing, huh?
thing. This is the noise cancellation.
Same question was asked in the
Now, noise cancellation, when we talk about noise cancellation, we try to estimate the noise and subtract that noise, or I would say remove the effect of noise. Means what we are doing is
minimize it.
we are minimizing the noise. And when we minimize the noise, automatically the speech signal is getting enhanced. When we say that we are removing the noise from the noisy speech signal, means what gets enhanced? Our speech signal gets enhanced. So the noise is estimated, the noise contents present in the speech signal, noisy speech signal is estimated, and that noise estimate removes that noise from the noisy speech data. And what will be the output? Output will be the estimate of the speech signal. So this estimate of speech signal is obviously going to have the speech contents enhanced and the noise contents removed, reduced. So this is how it works as a speech enhancer.
They are related.
Yes.
They are good friends. Noise and signals are very, very good friends. So this can go on. Wherever there is a noise, this discussion also can go on. I think this is the purpose of the pre-submission. Idea of this pre-submission is to present, get as many, you should get. The more questions that you get or more, that is good for the researcher. So, now all that we have to appreciate is you are all young, but you look at them, they are doing PhD. So, I want all of you also have to take it to your career as a researcher. How many of you want to become researchers? Good. Only one. That's why you are wearing green shirt today. No, you should. Okay. Why are you doing your MTech? Why are you doing your MTech? Don't say I don't know. Why are you doing your MTech? Yeah, you only. I'm asking you. Yeah. Tell whatever the view that you have. You must have something in mind, no? Don't say my father asked me to do it, I am doing it. Except that everything. All are other fields. See, why I am saying is we should know why I am doing, why this field, why that. You should question. See, after MTech, you can become academician, you can become researcher, you can become scientist, you can become, there's so many ways by which you can progress. You can go to multinational companies and then contribute some. So get focused, work. Those who are in first year, you have more time, don't relax. Those who are in second year, you have very less time. Because you use the word compromise. We never get the person whom you want to get married. You have to compromise the height, weight, color, so many factors. So therefore, please learn as much as you can while you are in GHS. Thank you, and let us thank Ratna Prabha and Sonali for their wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for coming in that big number. Normally, the pre-vivas will be only 2, 3 guide plus this. I think it's spectacular to see an institution like this. I mean, that is where, morning in our academic council, we were discussing why the people, when the questionnaire is asked, research, innovation, I think that is all ingredient of this institution. Thank you very much.